I love walking inside a boiler room, feeling that adrenaline rush of finding something hidden, like Indiana Jones walking inside a spooky cave. I especially love coming in after other companies couldn't find a solution. Join us on this week's Boiler Room Detective as we uncover the top 10 hydronic headaches and reveal pro tips to solve them fast. Stick around, you won't believe the simple fixes that could save your system. I'm your host, Ray Wolfarth. These problems are in no order. Number one, boiler pressure keeps rising. It could be the pressure reducing valve. Verify the water feeder shuts off at the proper pressure. If not, replace it. It could be the expansion or compression tank is flooded. Number two, relief valve is weeping. System pressure is too high. The compression tank is flooded or too small. The relief valve is defective. Check it and replace it if it is. Number three, radiator not heating. The radiator could be airbound. There could be no hot water to the radiator. Is the supply pipe warm? If not, look for a closed valve in the piping. If you have heat up to the radiator but none in the radiator, check the radiator valve. The gate may have fallen off the valve. There could be a blockage in the return pipe. If the cold water can't get out of the radiator, hot water can't get in. Look for a closed valve or restriction. Is the radiator enclosed? If the radiator is enclosed in a box, the heat may not be able to escape. Most of the heat from a radiator is convection rather than radiation. If the system used to be a gravity system, the water may shoot across the bottom of the radiator. Try closing the valve all the way and opening it a full turn. This may slow the velocity so the hot water rises. Number four, some parts of the building are cool. I would look at the radiators and the piping to see if they're airbound. You can look at the system pressure on the PTA gauge. 1 psi will lift water 2.3 feet. You can measure the highest radiator above the boiler and divide by 2, and that should be the pressure on the PTA gauge. The zone valve or circulator is not working. Verify zone pumps operate or zone valves open and close. You could have missing pipe insulation. It causes the pipes to cool before they reach the radiator. Is the radiator covered? Like I said earlier, most of the heat from a radiator is convection. Make sure the hot air can get out. Is the strainer plugged? If the strainer is plugged, water may not be able to get through. Verify the thermostat is working. Is there a water leak stopping the water from going into the radiator? Are there two different types of heat emitters? Copper heats and cools quickly, while cast iron radiators heat and cool slowly. It's best to have them on two separate zones. Number five, the entire building is cool. Check your reset control. Verify it's working properly. Your water temperature is too low. Verify the water temperature is high enough for the building. The outdoor air sensor is in the sunlight. Verify sun isn't shining on the outdoor temperature sensor. It may be getting a false reading and shutting off the boiler. The boiler could be undersized. The thermostat could be in the wrong place. If the thermostat has sun shining on it, it may be reading a warmer temperature. There could be a stuck check valve or a backwards installed check valve. Maybe there's no call for heat. Check the thermostat or the control. The pump's not working. Verify the pump is working and going in the proper direction. The pipes could be too small. Verify pipes are large enough for the load. The water temperature sensor is in the wrong location. If the temperature is on the supply pipe, it could be short cycling the boilers. Try switching it to the return side. Number six, water under the boiler. Check the boiler for leaks. Check the piping for leaks. It could be cold water in the boiler. When the boiler's starting with room temperature water, condensation could drip. If the leak continues after the boiler starts to heat, look for a boiler leak. The relief valve is leaking. Check system pressure is below the relief valve set point. Number seven, high fuel cost. Some of the causes for it are undersized or underfired boilers. The burner is short cycling. If the burner starts and stops, it uses more energy. The third reason could be air vent not working. Air could be trapped inside the piping, so water cannot get in. Number eight, the expansion tank keeps flooding. It could be your gauge glass leaking on the front of the tank. It could be a hole in the top of the tank. The pressure-reducing valve could be defective or misadjusted. Or the expansion tank is undersized. 9. The boiler makes a ticking or cracking noise when firing. It could be scale forming on the water side of the boiler. The boiler may actually be low on water. If so, do not add water to the boiler until the boiler is shut off and cool. It could be sludge inside the boiler. Try draining the sludge from the boiler. You may need to hose the sludge from inside the boiler. Number 10 is boiler short cycles. This could be caused by the circulator is not working or undersized, the operating control is defective or set too low, the flame rod is dirty or misaligned, the flame detector is defective, the burner airflow switch is defective, the gas train vent could be plugged, the chimney draft is too high and pulling the flame away from the flame sensor, the boiler is oversized. If the boiler is oversized, it will short cycle. The boiler fire site is dirty. Check by logging the flue gas temperatures and the delta T going through the boiler. Boiler is losing its call for heat. Reset control temperature sensor is in the wrong location or defective. Boiler piped incorrect. If the boiler is piped backwards, the supply water may get pulled into the boiler return. Low heat load in the building. Consider installing a buffer tank. That's a wrap on this case. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have a question on your boiler, please send me an email and let's see if we can figure it out together. My boiler books are available at T.F. Campbell, Pronto Heating Supplies, and Amazon. Thanks for joining me, detectives, and I'll see you on the next case.